Well, I just have felt extreme joy this last month in spending the amount of hours we have spent looking at the Bible. I mean, that is just, you know, the juxtaposition between my last career of engineering and now just spending hours each day staring at the Bible and wrestling with it and thinking about it and writing about it has just been such a great joy to me. Even though I'm down in my basement and it's dark and dingy, the light of the Word is just has been such a blessing, and so that's been definitely the highlight. And I'm looking forward to 4 more years of that. But then also just back to the whole local church element. Yesterday we did baptisms and we were celebrating the new spiritual life of this man in his 50s who had struggled with alcoholism and now in this year has come to Christ and was being baptized. And so, just the joy of all of those studies and then still being in the rhythms of the local church and seeing, new spiritual birth and just all the joy that brings. It's been a good time so far.
Yeah, I think just the joy of other students and professors as well is totally contagious. To be in chapel and see Dr. Beckman up there, whether he's preaching or worshiping, it makes you delight in what we're doing, and other professors in the classroom, seeing them have that sort of joy and delight, and not only their teaching, but also seeing us respond in ways that brings them delight, stirs up the affections for me. Okay, this is a great seminary because we have that sort of relationship with professors. Our classes are so small that our professors know us, and then we can share in that joy and delight together as we, stare at the Bible all day long, but other books as well to help kind of facilitate even greater discussion and information about what the text is saying. So I found that really helpful for me in sparking joy in the classroom.
We might not have a world-class facility here, but man, we have a world-class faculty. Yeah. And every Greek class, we'd start off either singing or in prayer. Dr. Griever multiple times will say, "Isn't Jesus great?" We just get to delight with our professors in what we're learning. We get to smile, we get to laugh with each other. We're not just reading through a textbook, but we're reading through the Word of Life. And man, I've just felt so much joy, like Nate was saying. When I was a little kid, I said I want to be a pastor because I could get paid to read my Bible. And that aspect is still there of, man, how can this be an opportunity to be a vocation? I want to give my life to this. I want to learn it. It brings me so much joy. I get to just study God's Word and write about it and just meditate in it, soak it up, be encouraged. So yeah, there's just been so much joy through example in professors and also through the opportunity and the assignments that just breed joy within us.
Yeah, and joy is kind of that's like Bethlehem's thing. Like if they can major in anything other than the Bible, which they wouldn't do, right. They would major in joy. Right. I find it. We did this class. We were taking it, Christian hedonism, and it was one thing to come into a seminary knowing that there's going to be this academic rigor, where we have all this reading we got to do, but we're sitting in class and we're engaging with this professor, and he starts choking up at the idea that God is not just upmost in his own affections, but that spills over into us. And sitting there, watch the tears come down his face. Just hits me and says, I'm not just trying to get the right answer. I'm trying to love more of Jesus every day. So that's huge. That level of joy that the school is able to scratch that itch. And doesn't make it seem as though they're like trying to force you to be happy, and you're going to be happy whether you want to or not. But it's like this, you just can't help it. Yeah. I can't help but be joyful when I hear someone talk about how God is upmost in his own affections. Or I can't help but be joyful to know that babies are being born into my brother's families. I can't help but be joyful to know that Christ is coming for his church, and we get to be a part of that. I just get left breathless to those kind of things. That's what I really care about, and I think that's what Bethlehem is teaching me, and I know others, of like, just walk in joy. We've been given a good thing, the good news, and they emphasize that good news. So I find that to be some of the most joyful experiences I've ever had at the school. So.